Hey up everyone, welcome to another video. In this video I'm targeting rats again. It is winter time in UK and it's time to get back on our furry friends. I'm always looking for activity in farmyard or a fresh supply of food. I did notice some a weekend ago. You have to admire these critters, very versatile, survivors. They survive almost anything and they're abundant in UK and many other countries in the world as well. Now we're taking rats, I take headshots only. There's a couple of illustrations here that shows you the point you want to be aiming for, whether it's side on or front on. That short lip brain, travel through body and hit vital organs. So here we are, up at farm. Bit of an unexpected visit actually, but I did notice a big pile of chips in farmyard last weekend. On previous sessions it's been a massive magnet for rats. So I'll wait and see what happens. I don't know if you can tell, but we've got about a 15-mile-an-hour wind. But I'm shooting at what, 20-25 yards max. So it's not really going to affect pellet. It is raining. It's not too bad. It's not too heavy, it's quite light rain, but with gusts and gales that are blowing a little bit, it makes it feel a bit heavier. What I've decided to do tonight, I'm sitting in the car. I'm going to keep myself and rifle as dry as I can. Hopefully, like I say, these chips are a magnet. I should be able to crack on and nail a few rats. So let's get into action. I noticed this rat on silage. When you're shooting rats you have to be patient. Tracking it, and it sort of disappears from sight, then it pops back out a minute or two later. I've got my crosshairs hovering. I'm waiting for that perfect opportunity. Shooting rats is a lot like shooting squirrels. They're both part of the rodent family. They're very fidgety, so you need to wait and get your timing right. There you go. It sat up, presented a side-on shot, and it were an instant lights out for that rat. I mentioned you have to be patient. When you're rat shooting, you'll see a lot of that. You'll see a quick glimpse of a rat, then it'll disappear. Best thing to do is anticipate where it's going to go. Keep scanning. And that's another perfect side-on shot. I've tried something a little bit different in this video. This is MV100 from One Leaf. So rather than picking rifle up, swinging it about, which obviously through session ties your arms and your shoulders and your neck out. So I was using an handheld device and I was scanning. And it did pay off on probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 times. I spotted a rat. I put MV100 down. Powered ATM 4K up. And it got me on quite a few rats. Sorry, footage is a little bit jumpy, but it is handheld. Here's another one. I think it was having a drink out of a mucky puddle. And rather it died of infection, it died of lead poisoning. Here's another example of scanning, finding your target, then getting presented with an opportunity. I've been tracking this one for a minute or two. feed on edge at silage. That's another nice clean headshot. This jumping about's normal. I've mentioned it a few times, it's inhibition. It's just body shutting down, nerves firing off. It comes to rest. What I do like to use is one of these shooting bag rests. It fits nicely down each side of the car. It's a nice steady platform. Keep rifle on, stops it slipping and moving about. Here's one at close range. I noticed movement. Apologies for it being slightly out of focus, but you ain't got time. I keep it focused for general ranges between 15 and 30 yards. This is about 10 yards. That pellet passed straight through between eye and ear, smashing cranium, probably exiting through brain. I've noticed this rat, this is about 50 yards away. It must be coming up to breeding time. I usually find that in December. And chasing each other around. I use zoom function. And you can hear it crack of that pellet at home. I'm well chuffed with that. 50 yards in quite gusty conditions. I'm confident with my setup. I'm confident with my skill set. They were a nice dispatch. So I'll be using Trusty Beast tonight. Air Arms Ultimate Sporter, .177 cal, sub 12 foot-pounds. Got Q-Tech silencer on it. It's been Ratworks tuned, so it shoots sweet. Regular viewers will know that. Got ATM 4K Pro on top, 3x14. An IR torch I'll be using tonight. It's Brianite Artemis T28. I can switch between 850 and 940. I'll just show you that. If I need to, I usually stick to 850. It's my preferred choice. So I'm nice and dry. It's not too cold. Let's see what this session brings. Here's another one at close range. Another 10 yarder. It's about 3/4 grown, that one. I'm not convinced this were a rat. I saw two pairs of eyes. That sound did sound like a rat's skull. See how fidgety they are? Scurrying around from place to place. You can't take shots at moving targets. It's not ethical. And you're not going to achieve clean kills. So I'm just waiting for it. Or thinking about it then. But I knew it was still too fidgety. Readjusting myself, get my rifle steady again, and waiting for my opportunity. That's another nice clean dispatch. Proving to be a successful foray so far. I weren't sure whether, I didn't have to retreat to cover. These young ones like to jump around a little bit. This corner, I think there must have been a nest close by. So I had 2 or 3 youngsters. They're very similar to young rabbits. They must be pumped up on adrenaline and testosterone. When you shoot them, they like to jump. If it sits like that, it's going to get shot. It's another case of being patient. I've seen this rat and I'm tracking it. Just like squirrels, you need to wait, let them feed. Once they feed, they're preoccupied. It gives you the opportunity that you need. This one come bounding down after seeing its, or listening to its mate being shot. That curiosity got better at it. That was another nice clean kill. This little corner at farmyard was quite productive. The stretch it ranges at 30 yards. You just see a flicker of an eye there behind a mound of earth. I'm just waiting for it to pop its head out. Another one comes into view. Looks like they both disappeared. But first rat I'm looking at shot off to the left. You just see its eye now, top left hand corner of the screen. Do notice it, I readjust, get comfy again. And send another one rolling down the hillside. Same banking, different rat, same result. That one fell forward. There it is, just rolling down to the bottom of the banking. This one's feeding on chips, trying to get fat for winter. Got more than it bargained for. It's another 50-yarder. Put his head down lovely. I'm just going to make adjustment for range. And rat did business for me. Made calculation. It worked out perfect. Look for his head dipping. There we go. Pellet landed perfectly. It's the same area, a little bit later. Another 50-yarder. Here, crack at skull when that pellet hits home. Here's in slow motion. Watch for the pellet flying in. Lovely shot. When you see this like button shoot up, that's position them two rats were in. There's another. I forgot to recock rifle, so I lost my opportunity with this one, and it scurried off. Thinking about it again, and again it's away. I've seen some more movement. Rats just coming to view. Did think we were going to go up banking, but decided to come towards chips. Again, I'm waiting for it, trying to be patient. And it just gets behind a pile of chips and I can't see it. Keep waiting, a minute or two later, it shows itself. And that was good enough for me. Shooting, most of the time, can be about patience. Don't rush your shots, wait for your opportunity. Make sure you're ready. Make sure your feet are planted. Make sure you're comfy. Just relax, make sure you're breathing right. And take your time, compose yourself before you release your shots. You do love it when you roll down hill like that. Perfect shot. These rats I keep seeing are in this corner. Keep coming from my left hand side from edge row. They slowly but surely make their way over to pile of chips. These are 3/4 grown rats, so again I think there's probably a nest close by. See how fidgety he is? But if you wait, they'll give you that opportunity. This shot, you'll see it in real time. And see it in slow motion. Shot were good, unless the rat flinched at the last second. Either that or a neck shot. There we go, not a bad session. Some big rats. There's quite a few I haven't been able to recover. I'm not going to muck about tonight. It's windy, really. Hey up everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm joined by a good friend of mine, Matt. We've been friends for a long time now, work colleagues up until about 12 months ago. I consider him one of my best mates. I've decided to take him out shooting with. He's ex-forces, he's always shot all his life. He's recently, last 12 months, got into air rifle hunting. It's a pleasure to join up with him and get out and about. This video, we're after pheasants. It's a really good session, so bear with us and I hope you enjoy footage. Hey up everyone. I'm just sat in bungalow hide this morning. Target squirrels and pheasants. It's just after first light. We'll see what turns up. There should be a lot of pheasants in the area. Feed's been way down in feeder quite a lot. It's getting topped up regular. I've noticed this morning it's gone down a lot again, but there's quite a lot of coveys of pheasants coming down. Probably 3-4 groups upwards, so about 10 birds at a time. So plan this morning, we're going to cull a few of them. So let's see what happens. Been joined this morning by Matt, a mate for a long time. He's using Krell Knight, shoots 177, he's using JSP exacts. And he's wrapped his rifle in some camo. It's from a company called, if I pronounce it right, Novi Stric. I think it's a Croatian company. Looks fantastic on rifle. Really nice detail on it. Like 3D leaf effect. First visitor's arrived. Matt's using camcorder on top of rifle to capture some footage of his shooting. But we're struggling to get a clear sight.
Really struggling to see you. I don't think I've got width. I don't think I've got barrel clearance either.
After a quick rethink and a repositioning of that log so we can eye it resting rifle, we're back on it. That brief delay of getting set up encouraged about 4 or 5 more ends to come to the bottom of the feeder. As you'll see from footage shortly, it pays dividends. Matt's waiting, he's waiting patiently. What we're hoping for is one of these birds to either go up onto the feeder. You're waiting for the heads to be still. You'll find once they've pecked about and had a little bit of hustle and bustle, they'll freeze, they'll stick the neck up in the air, their head will come to rest, just for them brief few seconds. And if you can get yourself lined up, then you get straight on them and you should be able to take nice clean head shots. I'll stop talking and I'll let you see Matt go about his business. This next sequence of footage is really top quality shooting from him. And that's first one in bag. That's 2 in bag. He's getting lined up on a third. Another nice headshot. Flutters just at right, about 5 yards, come to rest. This one's slightly obscured. Scrim net, we're getting in front of the camcorder. A nice headshot. I'll just give you a quick look around where we are this morning. Show you how we set up. So I'm sat in that chair. We're looking at that window for jackdaws. It's been primarily about pheasants this morning. That shooting window. A couple more pheasants down out there. Got Matt's gear. He's brought his dipole. He's got his rifle down there. After Matt's 4 in a row, it's time for me to get in on action.
Nice.
As usual, I'm using Air Arms Ultimate Spotter, outrage tuned. It's .177 calibre, sub 12 foot-pound. Been performing brilliantly this morning. Pinpoint accuracy, but I don't expect out else from Air Arms. This is our view from bungalow wide. We've got one at windows open. Feeder's at about 25 yards. And it's proving to be a magnet for pheasants. Squirrels are still late to the party. There's plenty in area. We'll quick see. Matt's gone out to do a pickup. I'm actually chuckling to myself here because I've got no idea why he froze and started staring at me. A bit like a deer in headlights. He's picking up. I think there's a couple of hen pheasants on the floor at this point and a cock pheasant. So rather than spook any more incoming birds, he's gone out, pick them up quickly, get back in hide, give 20 minutes to calm down again, disturbance to settle, and they should return. Matt's on another hen pheasant. Molded scrim net back for him this time so we get a clearer sight picture. Let's see what he does with this pheasant. In my videos, I always talk about patience, waiting for the right time to take your shot, learning rhythm of your quarry and the behaviour. It'll enhance your timing. Matt's waiting. He's waiting for the bird to stick his head up, but it's not presenting that type of shot. So when it's settled and it's feeding, and his head's down, he times his shot perfectly. Well, we've done alright so far. Managed to get a few pheasants apiece. Morning's cold, so we're just fueling up on a couple of pot pies. I'm back behind rifle. That's all them pheasant that Matt just shot. Brought a few more in. For a change, Matt's filming me. I'm just getting myself ready on an M pheasant. Nice shot. He struck a little bit low. Did go into lower base at head and neck, higher area at neck. So off camera, I get a second shot just to make sure we're finished off. I'm pleased with that. Nice to be behind trigger and take my turn in session. Matt's gracefully allowed me some more time behind rifle, behind trigger. I'm lining up again. There's a few M pheasants, I believe. All around base at feeder again. Just wait for my moment. Heads up. Line up. That was a nice clean head shot. As I've mentioned loads of times before, and people always comment, there is some inhibition. Birds flap about, birds jump about. But it's all normal and should be expected. This cock pheasant were a tricky shot. I must have watched it for around about 3 minutes, trying to wait for an opportunity. We were just more intent on feeding. Constantly moving, head bobbing about. I'd said to Matt I thought I'd seen a squirrel round back at tree before I noticed this cock pheasant. I just see it then again at right, and it ventures out to the left. I'm thinking about taking squirrel instead, but that were fidgety, and we all know that they need to be perfectly still to get a clean head shot. Keep looking, think it might come up to feeder, prevent me with a shot, but it done. I had to skip some footage, cut it out because it did go on forever. And eventually, pheasant sits up nice, and that's another one in bag. We're having a fantastic morning at this point. Matt shot a few more off camera. Unfortunately, Scrimnet got in the way, so we didn't actually capture footage of all his shots, but he had a brilliant morning. After we shot these two, Matt went out, did another pickup, and he come back in, all excited, telling me they were buzzard, hovering around. We're checking out pheasants, so we left them out here for a while, hoping it'd come down and we'd get some footage. But I think it had seen Matt, and it just perched up in a tree. And it realised there were danger lurking below, or people. I wouldn't say danger, because it were in no danger. They are protected in UK. But decided against coming down, so we did a quick pickup. About 20 minutes later, we're back on some more pheasants. Matt had just shot that one, it's flapping about to the left. Again, we swapped places. I took that first M pheasant, and I'm looking out for this one. As you can see, an exceptional session. 13 pheasants, and Matt's just stoked in on this squirrel, so that's a nice little bonus. Fantastic morning, plenty of wild food there. We're going to have to share some of this about, we'll split it between us and then we'll share it amongst family as well. Lovely little surprise for family, for an extra treat over Christmas. Ended session, we divvied birds up. This is Matt's all prepared for freezer, ready for eating. I brought mine home, popped them in cabin, left them overnight. And next day, I set about preparing them all. So that's all my pheasants that I split. They're all ready for freezer, just wants bagging up. So I've left a couple of birds all on bottom left here. I've got what, 2, 4, 6 crowns, a pile of legs on the left hand side, some of them are buried underneath that crown. Nice freezer filler. A real life Yeti.
Coming to you from Friday.
Spot on. I share some land with lads from My Yorkshire Oaks. They've got a YouTube channel. Check them out. Hunting with Harris Oaks, absolutely fantastic channel. Amazing birds to see. I met up with him a few weeks ago. Bumped into each other on the same bit of ground. Had 10 minutes, quick natter.
in his natural habitat.
And let him on the way to go back to the hunting business. Here's my favourite shot of my shots. Slowed it down, slow motion. See pellet strike home nice and clean. That's a lovely cockbird for freezer. Really pleased with that shot. Really pleased I had time with Matt. Great to catch up, mate, and we'll do it again soon. As ever, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. This video has been released probably bang smacking middle between Christmas and New Year. So I hope you've all had a lovely time with your families and he's looking forward to a lot better 2022 at UK and hopefully get some normality back. In this video I'm targeting grey squirrels. Prime time at UK. Little tip for you, look out for the grazing area. As you can see from this footage, there's 3 or 4 greys all in the same dray. They will get together at this time of year. It helps to create warmth inside dray and survive through harsh winter. I'm targeting a feeder that you're all familiar with. This feed in the feeder, the wheat or the mixed corn that I used, hasn't been going down particularly that well. But I've took a few squirrels off this feeder. So I think I'm slowly thinning population out in this woodland. It's first thing in the morning. It's still quite gloomy in woods. I've managed to get ATM 4K Pro on day mode. The footage is slightly a little bit grainy while it's struggling to pick up some light. What I'm doing here, just waiting for it to get into a feeding pattern. Next time it goes for a piece of wheat, I'll be on top of it. Oh, nice clinical dispatch. Pellet struck perfectly just above eyebrow. They've gone straight through cranium, into the brain and travelled down body. You can see from image inside eye that it is gloomy morning. It's really dark inside that eye. I've had to brighten that image up with editing software just so you can see what I'm up to. It's same shot in slow motion. Keep an eye out for shot placement. Now, why are we controlling grey squirrels? We're controlling them because we're trying to preserve birds that are on an endangered list or red list in UK. Members at Tit family, they're competing with grey squirrels for habitat, food sources, and grey squirrels will even predate on them as well. Doing a great service to UK Woodland. If you do shoot any squirrels, don't immediately go out and pick them up. It can attract COVID to the area. This is what's happened here. I've heard some magpies clattering away in the background. So I've got myself ready. And I see that telltale flash of black and white. There's a magpie. Slowly makes its way towards a squirrel corpse on the floor. I took that magpie went out a long shot. What you see now is common. It takes them a few seconds to realise they've been hit cleanly and expire, and here it is in slow motion. Pleased with that shot. Magpies are fidgety. You have to wait for the opportunity, wait for them to just sit and settle just long enough to release that shot. This is all happening first thing in the morning. So I mentioned that we're here to preserve other wildlife. And in certain parts of the UK where there is red squirrel populations, it's more important to control grey squirrels. Training up these little fellas out. The grey squirrels pass on squirrel pox to the red squirrel population, as well as damaging trees in forestry. Your primary aim in certain parts of the country where there is red squirrel populations is to control them to protect the reds. The reds are our native squirrels. We need to do our best to try and look out for them and help the populations expand so they can take hold in different parts of the country and start competing again with grey squirrels. When I'm shooting from an hide, I often spend my mornings with some mice. You can hear them scuttling around that floor. I think they like to come inside, and an hide provides like a perfect shelter for these through winter months. They're no trouble, and I just leave them be. I didn't have much time on this morning to rest on my laurels. Something else has caught me eye. I've got some movement, and like magic it just appeared on feeder. Again, I'm taking my time, waiting for my moment, and when it sits up, I release my shot. As you can see, that's a lovely clean kill, and that's what it's all about really. This is what we're trying to achieve every time. I know it's not possible every time. Mistakes do occur. There's a lot of variables when you're shooting with air guns. Here it is in slow motion. Again, another shot straight above eyebrow. Squirrel's quartering away. So it'll travel that pellet, it'll go straight through brain and straight down body. If you do shoot feeders regular, you're going to come across jays. Small songbirds like robin. They're always a common visitor. And particularly with jays, it's a personal choice for yourself. If populations are large, then they do need thinning out and reducing to a manageable population size. If not, leave them be. Let them populate, and they're always a pleasure to see. I had a little bit more time with this next shot. I noticed something scurrying across woodland floor, so I got myself ready. And I managed to pick up on this squirrel as it was approaching on woodland floor. So I'm tracking it onto the feeder. And again, it's all about timing and knowing when to release your shot. This squirrel was only a youngster when I did my pick up. Hence the thrashing about. I don't know what it is with old quaddy, but the younger generation seems to be pumped up on adrenaline or testosterone. They like to bounce about a little bit, but it did come to rest just there. It were another nice clean kill. You'll see my shot placement, same again, just aiming just above eye. I've released my shot. It tucked in just under here. Lovely clean dispatch. Now, we do want these squirrels, and they do cause a lot of damage to forestry, trees, native wildlife, and particularly red squirrel. You have to admire them as well. They're a worthy quarry. While we're out there, it's a pleasure to see other wildlife as well. This little stoat. As ever, at the end of any session, I check my feed levels. I've always got a bag of wheat or mixed corn with me. This feed had gone down by about 5 or 6 inches, so not a massive amount. But I top it up, as I always do, then I know I can forget about it for another 3 weeks. And here I am, just doing my pickup. As I mentioned in one of the other videos, I always give them a quick nudge with my feet first. Make sure they are definitely dispatched and not being knocked unconscious. I'm confident they were out clean, but I always check. Last thing you want is a nasty bite off one of these squirrels. If you prepare squirrels for table, you'll know that their incisors are quite large and they would give you a nasty bite. Well, it was only a quick session this morning. I literally had about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 with pick up and everything. Got loads of things on. It's Christmas next weekend, so I've got to get home, get a few bits done. Good session though. Always pleased to get a magpie. Got a squirrel here, but it's only a young one. Unusual at this time of year. Must be a late summer breeding session. I've got 2 big old brooks at the top. Lovely shot placement on that one. And this one, but same, just tucked it under here. So I'm chuffed really. 4-inch bag for a couple of hours. It's time to get home and get out and about and get last bits done.